Hello, everybody. Welcome back to NF Marsch. I have decided that we are not making money fast enough. And the reason why we're not making money fast enough is because this facility right here, which I love and has been so useful in many situations, is not making silage fast enough. And our fertilizer factory over there is also not making fertilizer either fast enough or efficiently enough. So if you know me, if you watch my videos at all, you know I am not a patient person, and I like for things to progress as quickly as possible. So we're going to make some changes this morning. We're going to use some of our money to make some changes and to get this thing rolling just a little bit more quickly. So to that end, we are going to empty everything out of here, and we're going to place it in a holding silo. I'm going to have to place another silo far enough away from that so that I don't just put it back in. If you notice, these are sharing space. This says we have 734,135 liters of grass. This says the same thing. And it also, this has more straw than this for some reason. But we are, they are obviously sharing grass storage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a very inexpensive silo over here. So let's go ahead and do this. And this is just temporary. We're gonna take this down when we're done. So real quick, let's put in a very temporary silo. Very cheap, very temporary. If you're doing Let's Plays and you really don't care what things look like and you're looking for an inexpensive silo, you can't do any better than this. This is 5 million liters and it costs $5,000. It's pretty much the best deal that you can get in a silo. So we're going to use that as a temporary silo, and we're going to grab our, and we can use that. We're going to grab our forage harvester. Forage wagon, pickup wagon, whatever you would like to call it. It's not a forage harvester, clearly. It's a forage wagon. So we're not going to take anything out of this silo. We're going to take it all from this silo. So we make sure that we're emptying this out. So the first thing we're going to do is grab all of our grass. right, we've got everything out of our facilities and into some temporary storage. I'm going to remove this fertilizer factory because the facility we're putting in will handle all of that. So let's remove that really quickly. And we'll get a little money back for it, not a whole lot. All right, so this facility right here will do everything we need it to do, and it will do it really quickly. I think I'm going to put that there. And that should give us the room that we need. We can still get past it. Yeah, I think that's the best place for it. It looks a little odd right there, but I think that's going to be the best place for it. So there we go. We can get in and out of it very easily. And it's a little further away from that, but it's probably still going to share storage. So let's get everything out of our temporary storage and into the new factory. All right, it looks like we've got everything transferred over. So we're going to go ahead and remove our temporary silo here. We no longer need that. All right, and we're at 353,078. I think we started with 388. So we didn't lose too much money on this transfer. So that's a good thing. And we'll get that back very, very quickly. So let's go into our settings real quick. And we're going to turn on silage straw in our field products factory. Activate that. And we are going to go down here to silage. And we are going to change that to distributing. And that will distribute over to the BGA and make digestate. So we need to also here turn on solid fertilizer digestate. And we're going to store our solid fertilizer. So this is going to make fertilizer so much more quickly than the other facility does. So we should be seeing a return on this new investment very quickly. All right, we've got some time left in the day, so I am going to go ahead and mow this field and get the grass into the fermenter so that we get as much possible turned into silage overnight. Okay, we got 194,000 liters of grass. And I put that in the silo because I want to make sure that I keep enough grass out for the sheep. I think I filled them up earlier, so they should be very close to full. Yeah, they have 92,000 liters. They will be fine for a couple of months. So I think what we're going to do before we sleep is take a look at the map. This field right here may be our best bet. It's very close to home. It's much larger than this one. It's also more expensive, but it's much larger. It has a very good soil composition, and I think for our needs, we could probably turn this into 2, maybe 3 fields and get the products that we need. So that is the current plan, and it sounds like a good one. So I am going to sleep. I am going to do some more research on fields and products and see what we'll actually need to make beer. And then I'll be able to make a more informed decision tomorrow. So I will see you guys in March. Our new balance is $1,191,068. That is entirely due to our new production facility. This facility overnight made almost 1 million liters of silage. So we made about $700,000 overnight. Wow, that's huge. So that just means that we need to continually keep this thing going. We always have to keep this thing going so that we constantly have silage going into it. Right now, we're completely out of straw. It went through, we had almost 1 million liters of straw, and it went through all of it. That's crazy. But we've got a lot of money, which means that we have enough money to buy this field across the street. Let's see what it has in it. So I looked at the field across the street, and it is carrots, ready to harvest. So I was about to buy it, but it got me thinking about how much exactly are we going to need to do the brewery, which is what I initially started out planning to do. And I may still do that. But I started a test map, and I started doing some testing and experimenting. And it looks like we're going to need at least $7 million to really get started in the beer business. If we were to say, okay, I want to start making beer tomorrow, we would need $7 to $10 million. If we could do it gradually, but what it would need to start out with would be a sugar factory. And then to the sugar factory, we would add a yeast laboratory and a malt factory. And then once we've got those things done, then we would need crops. We would need something to make sugar with, either sugar cane or sugar beets. We would need wheat and or barley and or millet. We would need, I want to say we need grapes to make yeast with. So we would need some sort of facility, I would think, to make grapes. I'm not going to plant grapevines. And then we would need to grow hops. I think that's everything. So you can see it's a pretty big undertaking just to make beer. And it would also take most of the land here in order to place those facilities. So beer is definitely a huge undertaking. So I think I'm going to need to maybe rethink that strategy. I don't know. We may end up making enough on clothes, and we're definitely gonna buy that field across the road, because either way, whether we make beer or not, we're gonna need more land, and I think that's the start of everything. This field over here, if we divided it in half, we could do half hops and half barley or wheat or millet, and we could rotate them, or we could divide it into thirds even and do half grain, and then the other half was split that in half and do hops and something to make sugar out of. So this field right here, I think, would serve us well whether we make beer or not. So we're going to buy this field right here, and we're going to harvest the carrots. There, I found some mods. Mark Thor has some great mods that we can use. They're not that expensive, so we can lease them without breaking the bank and harvest these carrots in a very fast way. So we're going to be doing that in the next episode. But we also need to mow this grass, and we need to spray the weeds in our hops field. So I'm going to get a sprayer. We're going to spray the weeds, and then I think I'm going to mow that off camera, and we're definitely going to buy that field. So I'll bring you back when I have a sprayer. Well, I needed to bring you back because I've just seen something that I rarely see, so I wanted to share it with you. If you'll notice, I'm in the used vehicle sale, and I found the thing that I need. How often does that happen, right? I don't. Yes, this does have the weed spot spraying. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. It adds to the price significantly, but we're still at $65,000, which is very cheap for these sprayers. All right. And 2,000 liters didn't even get it half full. But I think that should be enough to cover this field, especially with the spot spraying on. Well, that job's done, and we used less than 200 liters of herbicide. That is crazy efficient. We'll try to squeeze it in here with our soil testing equipment. That's all right. That'll work. All right, I'm going to mow and pick up that grass off camera, and then we're going to go look at our new field. This is our carrot field. It's very, very, very large. But we're going to harvest all of these carrots. We're going to hang on to them, I think. The best price is sometime in January, so we'll probably hang on to these carrots. But we will be harvesting them in the next episode. We will also be selling off all of our clothes. Well, the clothes that we made, not the clothes that we're wearing. And then we're gonna look into our plans a little more. In addition to the factories themselves being quite expensive, all of the Fed action productions require electricity, which is no problem for us. We already have a BGA. So instead of selling electricity, then we'll start distributing that to whatever factories we have. So that's not an issue. But they also need pallets. So we'll have to have some sort of facility to make pallets. And most of them, beer needs cardboard. All of the dairy products need cardboard and paper. So that's another avenue we could go, is a dairy which makes lots of products other than just milk. So that means that we're going to need wood. I thought we were going to get away from logging, but apparently we're not. So fortunately, all of these productions just need wood, so we don't have to worry so much about cutting them at specific lengths. If they're very, very close to the facility, we can always just carry it over there. So we're going to sell clothes next time, and hopefully that and maybe some fertilizer will provide us with enough money to buy a small forest and to cut down some trees. The one I'm thinking of is very close to the sawmill, so we should be able to sell the first round of trees and then place our productions. We're going to place a paper/cardboard factory and also a pallet factory. Now, both of those facilities are not Fed action productions. So I think we may be taking a small risk by doing that. They may not be able to keep up with the Fed action dairy or brewery or whatever we choose to do. I'm kind of leaning towards dairy now. I think that would be a little more manageable than the brewery, because the brewery requires so many other productions that feed into it. So we may start with the dairy, but I will have made that decision by the next episode. So if you like this video, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription. If you did not like this video, please post a comment and tell me why. Either way, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time.